Let me start with a question most religious spaces don't like to ask. Why do so many sincere, thoughtful, good people leave religion? Not drift, not struggle, but intentionally walk away. And what if the reason isn't laziness? What if it's not wanting to sin? What if it's not rebellion at all? Today I want to talk about why people leave religion, with empathy for those who left, and clarity for those who stayed. Because if we get this wrong, we end up misunderstanding people we care about. Most of us were taught a very simple story. People leave because they stop trying, because they want freedom without responsibility, because they weren't faithful enough. That explanation feels reassuring. If the problem is them, then nothing about the system needs to be examined. But here's the issue. That story doesn't line up with reality. Many people who leave were deeply committed. They prayed. They served. They believed with their whole heart. So let me ask you something. Why would someone willingly give up their community, their certainty, their identity, and often the approval of people they love, just to be lazy? For many people, leaving religion isn't about comfort. It's about integrity. It starts with something no longer lining up, a teaching that doesn't sit right, a policy that creates harm, a moral conflict they can't ignore, a historical or doctrinal issue they were never allowed question. And instead of silencing that discomfort, they listen to it. That takes courage, not weakness. Ask yourself this. What does it cost someone to say, I don't believe this anymore? Often, it costs them everything. Another major reason people leave religion has nothing to do with belief at all. It has to do with pain, spiritual shame, fear-based obedience, feeling constantly unworthy, being told their questions are dangerous, or their feelings are wrong. When faith becomes a source of anxiety instead of peace, people don't leave because they hate God. They leave because they are hurting. Here's a hard question. If a relationship consistently wounds you, is stepping back rebellion, or is it self-preservation? There's also a common fear that when someone leaves religion, they'll lose their morals. But many people report the opposite. They become more intentional, more honest, more compassionate. Instead of doing what's right because they're afraid, they do what's right because they care. So let me ask you this. Is morality only real if it's enforced by belief? Or can it come from empathy, responsibility, and values? Here's something many believers don't see. When people leave religion, they don't just move on. They grieve it. They mourn the certainty. They miss the community. They wrestle with fear and doubt and loss. And when their pain is dismissed as laziness or sin, it deepens the wound they have. Instead of asking, what's wrong with you? What if we asked, what has been your path? If you're still religious, this matters. Because how you interpret someone's leaving determines whether you remain safe to them. You don't have to agree with their conclusions to respect their process. You don't have to abandon your beliefs to stop assuming theirs were shallow. Strong faith isn't afraid of honest questions. And real love doesn't require agreement. So maybe the better question isn't, why did they leave religion? Maybe the better question is, what kind of space are we creating for truth? Because people don't leave what feels safe, honest, and life-giving. They leave what feels impossible to stay in. If this video helped you see people with more compassion, or gave language to something you felt but couldn't explain, consider liking and following this channel. And tell me in the comments, what topic would you want to explore next about faith or healing?